I've been fortunate enough to work with Cate on The Aviator, Cinderella, and Carol, and can confidently say that she is a costume designer's dream. She has a real understanding of clothes as costume, always putting the character first over and above personal vanity. Susie Benzinger throws it down. Cate is a force of nature. She comes alive through the costumes with such power. Woody Allen doesn't give advanced shooting schedules, which once resulted in the horror of 3 pivotal scenes in one day with no notice for Cate. But Cate was ready, willing, and able. And Woody used 2 of them on the first and only take. But if one thinks she is hyper-devoted to her craft, Susie says it pales in comparison to the love and devotion she has for her family. In the end, Cate has her priorities straight. Oh, and Susie sends a simple request from New York: clone her. Julie Weiss has requested Cate become the voice of the costume designer's GPS system. Because even on dangerous curves, her roles have told us where to slow down, where to think, listen, and just look. your consistently astounding body of work, for taking your job seriously, but the accolades with a pinch of salt, for being a dream collaborator for so many of us in this group, for being not just an exceptional actor, but an exceptionally fine person. The Costume Designers Guild is proud to present you with the 2016 Lacoste Spotlight Award.
Thank you, Sandy. To receive this from you is an honour of itself. And to the Costume Designers Guild, I can't tell you, a lot of actors get up here on this stage, this is where the Golden Globes is held, and say how thrilled they are, but really, I actually am. I adore costume. I always have. My sister trained as a costume and set designer, and I as an actor, and we used to play this game every weekend. Where she would dress me up and I would inhabit the form that she had given me, and she'd give me names, and our favourite character was Piggy Trucker. I won't perform Piggy Trucker for you, but she would name this thing that she had sort of created, but it was a dialogue. And it was fun. It was, you know, and she went on, she's now an urban planner, she's left costume design well behind. But it was fun, and I didn't think I, would ever have the chance to turn that sort of pleasure into an actual career. And Sandy, and I've worked on several films together, small and large. And it's, I've had the great joy of working on films that have had enormous budgets, and they're wonderful, and you get to build, enormous costumes. But really, in the end, I think the profound creativity happens when you make a film like Carol, which is made on a wing and a prayer and an enormous amount of love, and you have a costume designer like Sandy literally acting as standby wardrobe, sewing up the fur that you're wearing, because they know it's the best fur. You had two choices and you go for the best one, but it means that she herself has to actually stitch you into your costume herself, take by take by take. And so I think it's a difference between, sometimes they're costumes and sometimes they're clothes. And it's often the clothes that don't get recognised. But it's a pleasure working on films that have both of those, scales and ambitions. So thank you. I can't tell you. This means an enormous amount to me, because it really is, it's the starting point for me, the dialogue with the costume designer. So thank you.